Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another Pit Stop Scale Model Garage video. Hi, I'm Vinny and I will be your host. Today is going to be something I haven't done for quite a while, and that is I am going to do a full build in one video. Yep. So, with that being said, you guys need to kick back because this is going to be probably more than 30 minutes, maybe closer to 45 minutes. I don't know yet. I got to still do some editing. But anyhow, don't forget about the Nasty Nova group build. It's underway. It started on the 15th of the 15th. Was the 15th or the 1st? I think it was the 15th of this month. But anyhow, we're past that. So, I want to see if you're going to build me a mom's grocery getter or you're going to build me an all-out Nasty Nova. You know what I'm saying? Anyhow, excuse me. I want to thank all my subscribers, new and old. I do appreciate you sitting in and watching my videos. Anyhow, with all of that being said, oh, and I forgot to mention the buddy build. Get back to that. The buddy build is between me and Al from Battleborn Hobbies. If you haven't checked his channel out, go ahead over there and check him out. Anyhow, now that I have said everything I want to say, we'll go ahead and get this video going. Because like I said, it's a doozy of a koozie, but you see how I build a car from start to finish. Talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye! Okay, boys and girls, welcome back to the bench. Today we're going to start my buddy build. Today is September 15th, and I had a choice either to start my group build or to start my buddy build. And I decided to start my buddy build. Anyhow, what I have here is all the products I'm going to be using for this build. For my adhesives, I'm going to be using the Gorilla Glue and this Faller glue. I like the Faller glue, especially when it's white on white. It's really cool. The body of the car, I'm going to paint in this mica red. I think it's a pretty nice color. It's got a little bit of metal flake in it. I like the color. I got to go out and get one. There's only about a half a can in here. Then I got black, tire black, gloss black, aluminum, Chevy engine orange, natural steel, and oily steel. Here's all my parts that I like to get going on. Getting the car standing up on all fours, getting the chassis done, and getting the car in color. So, with that being said, we're going to start doing this, and I think I'm going to keep my yap shut and just build and do what I got to do, and then maybe do a voiceover. So stay tuned, and I will be right back. Boys and girls, welcome back to the bench. As you can see, I've been pretty busy with the paint situation. Everything you see here is going to complete the chassis and the engine and get this vehicle standing up on all fours. I am going to do this as a complete build, start to finish. So, in this one, I usually do the chassis, get it standing on fours, and then I do the engine. I'm going to switch that around today. I'm going to do the engine first, and then we'll do the chassis and all the rest of that stuff, and then we'll continue on from there. The only thing I won't be putting on the engine today is the oil pan, because I just did that with the Fusion firm. It's just about a day old right now, so I don't want to touch it. Anyhow, let me clear off this stuff, and we'll just get the engine components on this little black piece of foam board that I have here, and we'll continue. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Okay, guys, before we get going on building up this engine, I want to make one point. In order to use this distributor with this shank, or whatever you want to call it, what I do is I put the manifold in place, and this manifold can only go on in one way. These guys are different sizes, so it only fits one way. And then I take a drill bit, because this is bigger than the hole that they give you from the kit, and I drill it until it's the size of the shaft. And then, as you can see, once that's done, you can slip it in there, and there you go. Alright. So now, with that being said, okay, boys and girls, this is just going to be a basic engine assembly. I did paint the engine in Chevrolet orange. I did the cylinder heads in aluminum. I did the transmission in aluminum. I made the heads look like they were aftermarket, you know, had work done to them and this and that and the other thing. Clean up the intake manifold, put it in place, and get it glued down. Really, there's not too much to say about putting an engine together. I'm sure we all have built an engine. This is the fun part. This is the most accurate water pump I've seen on any of these kits. And as you can see, Fumble Fingers is trying to get it in place. Of course, there's two little mounting tabs that have to go into holes that are in the cylinder heads. So anyway, I finally got those on there. Now I'm going to try and attempt to put the starter in. Again, my Fumble Fingers get in the way. And then we're going to do the oil filter, and from here on in it's just putting the rest of the engine together, putting the front together, putting the manifolds on there, distributor, and all of that kind of good stuff. And I'm really looking forward to getting this car done. It has been really nice kit to put together. Everything is going together just the way it's supposed to. Everything just falls into place basically. Yeah, so I'm having fun with this. Okay, boys and girls. Here we go. One completed 427 engine, except for the oil pan, which is right there. That'll go on probably tomorrow. But anyhow, distributor cap, well, the distributor's in, wires are there. I just need to wire it up. I won't do that for right now. And starter's in, oil filter's in, fan clutch, fan, the whole 9 yards. This, as far as I'm concerned, other than the oil pan, this engine is complete. And the wiring needs to get done. Upper hose is there, but it's not glued in yet. Here's the lower hose here, and then here's my air filter. So, that being said, we gave it a trial fit in here with the exhaust system on there. Make sure everything is going to be fitting perfectly. And as you can see, it does. And I already tried to match up the rest of the exhaust system to the manifolds, and they seem to be in the proper location. So, I am happy with the engine. Next, we're going to put the chassis together. So, let's get this guy back out of here. Come on, there you go. And, oh, by the way, I didn't tell you this earlier, but the body is in color. It is, really. And so I'll show you that in a little bit. Anyhow, we'll start with this guy. So let me get the parts for this, and we'll be right back. Okay, boys and girls, we're about to put the chassis together. And one thing I have to tell you guys, every once in a while, it's pretty good for us to check the instructions. As you can see, I'm putting the sway bar in now. On one of my other builds, I didn't follow the instructions, and I put everything together and then realized, oh no, the sway bar has to go in first. So I learned a lesson there. As you can see, this kit, like I mentioned earlier, it just goes together so nicely. I can't believe it. Anyhow, we're going to start doing the differential now on the leaf springs. And you'll notice that I use my mat to make sure that it's square. That's just my thing that I do when I have to make sure things are square. I just use my mat. I mean, it's there. No extra charge to use it, so I might as well use it. And as you can see, I got it pretty squared up. Maybe. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and install the exhaust. Another mistake I had made at one time is I put the differential in before I finished putting the exhaust in. So lesson learned with that. Put everything in, follow the instructions every once in a while. They do help. This is the part that I almost screwed up on. I almost put the differential in before I put this piece in. So again, following the instructions does help from time to time. One thing you need to be careful of in this rear assembly setup is that the rear sway bar, the way they have it mounted, is like really flimsy, and I did break mine. So I'm going to attempt to find one and see how it goes from there. Anyhow, let's get back to the rest of the video. Okay, boys and girls, you've seen me do a whole bunch of stuff now. Engine's in, I got it holding down with my little scrunchies on my hair, just so I can work with it. As you can see, the bottom is totally finished, the rear end is in, leaf springs are in, the exhaust system has to go in before the rear end goes in. Just keep that in mind, whoever builds this kit. I almost made the mistake of putting the differential and springs on before I put the exhaust in there. Everything lines up perfectly, so I'm really happy with that. So the next thing we're going to do is get on to the wheels and tires. So stay tuned and we'll be back shortly. Okay guys, we're going to move on to the tires and wheels now, but I want to show you one thing that kind of almost scared me. They show this little pin right here, and they're saying not to glue it. Okay, well, I'm not going to listen to that instruction because I don't want my cars to roll anyhow. Anyhow, they don't give a number for this pin, and so I started looking on all the screws, and I'm going crazy because I can't find it, and oh man, this kit is short. I can't put it together now because there's no pins for the wheels, and I have some piano wire. Maybe I could make something work, blah, 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 blah. Anyhow, going through the box several times, I couldn't find the little pins. So finally, I looked at the clear glass. And sure enough, right at the top, right here, the pins were attached to the clear glass plastic. So again, anybody who's doing this kit, don't panic, the pins are there. Alright, so like I said, I do not, I don't leave them loose because I don't want my cars to roll anyhow. So let's move this guy out of the way. And I will show you the color of the car here pretty soon. I promise. Okay, let's take these guys out of here for now. According to the instructions, the backs are different between the fronts and the rears. The number 38 are for the front wheels, and the number 40 are for the rear wheels. So I'm going to get and cut those off the screws. I'm going to put the wheels together, put these in there, and then we'll put it on. So let me get going. Okay, boys and girls, we're starting to put these wheels together. And another thing that I was pretty amazed at is these are, again, this kit goes together so well that these tires don't even have to be adjusted in any way. What I'm talking about is I usually like to get the tires, the wheels, as close to the bead of the tire as possible, and these just fit in there just perfectly. So no extra work to do right there in that part. Anyhow, I did put the pins in there, and now I'm going to attempt to put these on the vehicle. And the rears, excuse me, the rears go in perfectly, but the fronts, I had to drill the holes out a little bit to make them fit in there. I don't know why. This is the only situation I had where I had to modify something on this car to make it work. Anyhow, I did get them in there, and as you can see in the next clip, we had this vehicle standing up on all fours. So let's get to the next part of the video and we'll continue from there. Okay, boys and girls, as you can see, I now have this car standing up on all four wheels. And you saw that the front's getting a little bit of a problem. I had to make the hole that the pin goes into a little bit larger. So basically, I don't have to do anything further with these wheels because they are going to stay in there by themselves. No glue required. Anyhow, that's done. Engine is done. Body's in color. I guess the next thing we're going to do is get into the interior. So stay tuned. Let me prepare all of that stuff and we'll be back shortly. Okay, boys and girls, what you're looking at now is a bunch of empty sprues. And this is for my Nova build. And I'm just going to take all of these out of here and put them in the trash. I do have a trash can under my work area here. But I also want to show you that's all that's left in this box. Just the chrome tree and the glass, period. So we're making good progress on this. And today, we're going to complete the interior. We're going to complete under the hood stuff. And then we're going to put this together and see what it looks like as a whole car. So with all that being said, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Okay guys, I thought I might give you a little demonstration on how I do my spark plug wires. I already started this, but I said, well, you know what, let me show these guys how I do it. Anyhow, you need to remember one thing, is that spark plug wires have weight. So when they come off the distributor, they're just not going to go straight across like that. They're going to kind of droop down and then come along and come up. Now I try to be as neat as I can, put them alongside the valve cover here. And basically, I do not do firing order. I just pick wires at opposite sides of the distributor and trying to untangle them. And then we'll just kind of do the same thing. Now I use my tweezers to kind of bend this down to where I want it to be. Now the engine's not glued in yet, so it might be a little rocky here. And once I get that down there, what I'll do is I'll bring it around, and again I'll squeeze it together. Squeezing it together just makes it look a lot neater. And I know they have spark plug wire looms and stuff like that, but that's way too small for me to see. So that's why I elected to do it this way. I do not put boots on here because I feel the material that they're using for boots is way too big, out of scale, so I do not do them. Sometimes I'll just paint the ends black to make it look like there's a boot on there. But I'm going to do this one here just to show you how I do it, then the rest will be done in time lapse. So now once I have it here, where's my tweezers? This guy keeps falling down on me. I need to see the top. I bring it around, bring it across the valve cover, and kind of judge how much I need. And you can see that this one here is a little bit too long. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. Make sure you don't cut it too short because then you're screwed. Now, when you drill your holes, drill it until there's no more plastic to go through. This way you know this will go right into the cavity. And once I get that, oops, get it in the hole, push it in, come on. This is the hardest part for me because I'm not seeing the hole very well. And I think I might have to cut a little bit more off of this one. Come on now. Get in there. There we go. Okay, once you get it in the hole, see, this one here could be cut a little bit more. Let me see how this looks on the top. Always trying to make it look neat as you possibly can. Hold it in here. Squeeze these guys together. Okay, now I'll take my T-pin and I'll put some glue on the tip of it, and I'll just go down the wire to the hole and fill the hole with the CA cement. Now I'll hold it there for a second. Yeah, I gotta glue this engine in place. I really like that everything just lined up on this. Just really just lined perfectly. This was a nice kit. Come on now. Alright, well, you guys get the idea. I just need to do this where I can see everything. Alright, well, you guys seen how I do that, so I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of them, and I'll bring you back when that's all done, and I'll probably have this engine secured inside the chassis. Stay tuned, we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, boys and girls, as you can see, my wires are done, and I think they look pretty nice. I went with the purple because, first of all, that's one of the colors that came in the distributors that I bought, and it was one of the colors that was left, and purple happens to be my favorite color. So anyhow, carburetor is installed on there now. So the reason why I didn't glue this engine down yet is because, number one, got to put the oil pan on, and number two, I need to put the lower hose on. But I can't do any of that. Well, I can put the oil pan on, but I can't put the lower hose on until I get the radiator in. And right now, paint is drying on that. But I did, so far, work on the master cylinder. That's a plastic container on there, so I decided to paint it with that white and yellow mix. I just need to do the top, and that'll be done. Getting real close to this car being finished, guys. So, anyhow, I'm going to continue on the interior, as you see. I did put a little chrome on the door handles and black on the ends where the crank-a-ma-dealy is. The instrument cluster is painted. What I did with the radio and the heater controls, I did that with panel liner. And I'm going to go ahead and chrome out the knobs on that. There is a decal that goes in there. I'll be doing that shortly. Here's my steering wheel and steering column, turn signal switch. I thought, I did look at the decals several times. They give you a lot of decals for this car also, a lot of exterior body decals. I thought that they would give me a decal that went in here. But no, they did not. So it's just going to remain just a black steering wheel. Another trick or shortcut, I guess you might want to call it, that I have done. This is the second time I've done it. The first one I did with white primer. This, hold on, let me back out a little bit. There you go. This is gray primer with semi-gloss clear over it, and that's the way it's going to stay. I'm not against doing double colors inside the interior. It's just that I'm not good enough yet, and the tape and the masking tape that I'm using really sucks. So rather than screw something up, I'd rather just leave it one color and just do some accents. Anyhow, the oil pan I think is dry enough to put that on, but I'm going to continue on the interior right now. So let me put this guy on the side, and let's go ahead and do this. Okay guys, before I stick these parts into the interior, I just want to show you what I've done. On the dashboard, as you can see, I got the decal in there for the speedometer, and over here I got the heater control knobs with chrome, and then the black is from the panel liner. And I did the same thing for the radio with the chrome knobs, and then over here also another chrome knob, whatever that is. The pedals, and I'm actually surprised that they give you the emergency brake pedal. That's pretty cool. But anyhow, the pedals were done in rubber black, and then the hardware was done in oily steel. I also did a little bit of panel liner here where it says Nova. So put that on the side. Let's see. The console. Now I did notice that these decals might be a problem. Remember I said at the beginning of this, if I can get the decals off, I'm going to make this a Yanko. These two decals right here, the gauges, took almost 2 minutes before they loosened up off the backing. So I'm hoping that I can get the Yanko stripes, body stripes off, so I can make this a Yanko. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and put this together, and I'll show you when everything is in this interior, and then I can say the interior is finished. Oh, by the way, I forgot to show you the important thing right here, which is the shifter. I painted the knob body color, and the shaft I painted in aluminum, and I will paint the boot black as soon as I get it off of this. Alright, we'll be back in a minute. Alright, boys and girls, before I stuff all of this stuff together, let me show you what I've gotten accomplished. Okay, this is not going to come out anymore because the battery's in there. Oops, there we go. So, I'll show you this battery here in a second, but the interior is complete. You know, I wish I had, you know, it's funny, I have so much light over this desk right here, and you still can't see everything. Anyhow, you can see it. You can see the console's got some decals on it also. Everything is done. And also, under here is now complete. And I'll show you what I was talking about, the battery. Once this is on here, I got my starter watt, my positive and negative cable on there. But once this is on here, the battery that they give you in the kit does not fit in this space right here. So I had to, let me see, let me get something to hold this with. Where's my, yeah. To make it fit, I had to sand down this side and this side, and also cut a notch out here in the bottom because there is a little locating place where the battery needs to go. But anyhow, that locating deal does not work. Once this is glued in, which it is, I mean, this is totally complete. The engine's in secured. You can see I have a decal on the air filter. I gave it a K&N filter. This now will go right into that spot where it needs to go, and it sits flush. And yeah, so then we're ready to go ahead and put this all together. So there we go, just like that. Throughout this entire video, I've been promising you guys you would see the body in color. So, without further ado, oops, sorry about that. Damn, did I get excited or what? Okay, with no further ado, here is the body in color. And I said I was painting this with the Tamiya Mica Red. And there you go. Nice paint job, looks good. So we're going to take a few minutes out right now. And we're going to do a compound on this, because once the compound is done, I can start putting my exterior decals on this. I decided not to make this a Yanko. Just going to make it like a regular street Nova that everybody would see on the street, and do some Friday night drag racing. Don't forget, this car's got a 427 in it. So it's pretty beefy. Clean this out here a little bit. And I know I've showed you guys this a million times, but I am using Meguiar's compound. And the reason for the tape is because the bottle actually split on the side. It comes out the side faster than it comes out the cap. There we go. Come on. That should be enough. Alright, so I always do this with my finger, only because it's just a small area to use with a rag. Alright, so we're going to start with the top. Alright, I'm going to continue this off camera and I'll bring you back. We're pretty much done with this car. I just need to put it all together. I need to put the body, chassis, and interior all in one unit. Before that, I'll do my outside decals and we'll continue from there. We'll be back shortly. Okay, boys and girls, welcome back to the bench. After doing the compound on the car, I really was not happy with the way it looked. So I decided to do a wet sand and then a compound. And I'm going to show you a comparison picture, what the differences are. And I'll talk over the picture and tell you what's going on with that. So stay tuned. Let me get this set up and we will be right back. Okay, boys and girls, what you're looking at now is a comparison video of the before and after the wet sand. Like I mentioned, I really wasn't happy with the way it looked after I got finished with the compound. If you look at the top photo, just compare the roof in both pictures and compare the hood in both pictures. You can see there's quite a difference. You may not be able to see it on the video, but let me tell you, it does make a difference in real life. So anyhow, with all of that, let's get back to the video and we'll see what's going on. Okay, guys and gals, I hope that you were able to see the difference in the paint. I sure can here live. There is no haze around the lights, and that's basically what I was trying to get rid of. And let me tell you, the wet sand did do a lot of justice to this paint job. That's enough on the paint. Anyhow, what we're going to do now, and I think I'm going to do this off camera because this video is already past 30 minutes. So, we are going to do whatever decals I need to do on the outside of this car, and that's going to entail these down here, which front side marker light, rear side marker light, different badges that go in various places, decal that goes on the hood. I'm not going to do those. Those are the keyhole, for the door locks. I just might put a little silver paint dot because those I'm definitely not going to be able to handle. Okay, that's on this decal, and on this one, we got a couple down here that are going to go in the engine compartment. So like I said, I'm not going to do this on camera because the video is getting a little bit too long. What I am going to do while I'm off camera, of course, I'm going to do these decals. I am also going to finish off whatever chrome needs to be glued to the body. These are the hood louvers, and this goes a hood, front hood, above the grill. And then, of course, I'm going to do the grill and the lights and all of that stuff, and then the glass. So next time you see this vehicle, it should be complete. So then you get crack-a-lacking on this, and we'll be back as soon as we can. Bye for now. Okay, boys and girls. Might not post this part of me installing the decals and stuff. Sorry, hold on. But if I do, I just want to show you that I did blacken out the center section of the rear bumper grill type assembly because there's decals that go on there, and the decals happen to be silver. These guys right here, this one and this one, they need to go there. And they say Nova 427, and I definitely want to put those on there. I'm going with these side marker lights because when I was cutting them off the big decal sheet, I accidentally screwed this one up. As you can see, I snipped the whole corner off of there. So I'm not going to be using that guy. And then the two side rear marker lights there. Alright, so you guys see me do decals, so I'm not going to record anymore. We'll talk to you guys later. Okay, boys and girls, welcome back to the bench. For anybody who wants to build a Nova kit, this is the Nova kit you should build. There was absolutely zero problems with this other than one little minor detail with the wheels, as I showed you in the video. And I am very, very pissed off because the last piece I was going to put on here, which was the outside side view mirror, I had the base of it in my tweezers, and the next thing I know, it wasn't in my tweezers. So that's the only thing that this car is going to be lacking as far as parts go. So without further ado, let's look at my buddy build that I have completed in one video. Here we go. I will zoom in on that so you can see it a bit better. That is the mica red. Let me move this out just a little bit that way. There we go. And I think that this is one of my best builds. It came out really good. Like I said, I used almost every single part that pertained to this other than the Yanko parts, which was just the decals really. I put the decals on there. You can see on the side. I'll stop this here for a minute. I always lose my little pointer thingy. Alright, so we'll just use this. Okay, if you can see the decals that I have put on here, you can see the Nova right there, and the side marker light with the front half of it saying 427. That's the only one I had to use that wasn't really for this build, because like I mentioned in the video, I did screw up the one that was supposed to be in there. Anyhow, let's go ahead a little further around. I did put the door handles on, which is something new for me. And back here, oops, the other way, Vincent. Back here, we did the side marker light. And what I like about these side marker lights is you don't have to trim out the bezel because it's already in the decal. Alright, continue on. Same thing on this side with Nova right there. And the front headlight, side marker light and the rear side. Let me back that out so you can see it. Side marker light, front and rear. And let's continue on. grill I did with panel liner. Tried to keep the SS in the middle clean. I painted the turn signals in amber yellow. On the hood, well, I'll do a top shot of this here pretty soon. Let's continue on. And again, the same thing on this side. Now, this is a top view, and you can see that I'm really, really happy with the way the paint came out. Now, there is no wax on this car yet. It's been polished, but there is no wax on it yet. So, let me show you under the hood here. Stop it there. Pull that off. And I do have to adjust something because the hood is not sitting all the way down flush. Let's see, the only thing I'm waiting for under the hood is a coil. I thought I had coils, but apparently I didn't have a coil, so the coil wire is just hanging out right here. And I have a little bit of an oopsie on the paint here and here. I am not going to worry about that. To me, it's just going on the shelf, and so I'm not going to really worry too much about that. Anyhow, let's back that back out. Go back to this camera. Oops, this camera, I mean. And that's it. That's my 69 Chevy Nova 427SS. That is Buddy Builds with Al from Battleborn Hobbies. I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video. And as always, your questions, comments, input, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all, folks. Pit Stop Scale Model Garage out for now. Bye.